That's all I could say. It's dumb in concept. In fact, the entire game is fucking dumb in concept. It should have never happened.
I often hear how certain Sonic games were fundamentally bad or flawed from the start, especially games from the fan-dubbed Dark era. Why is Sonic in such a serious story? Why does Sonic have a sword? Why is he a werewolf? Why is he in a romantic relationship with a human?
To me. To us.
I'm sorry, I had to bring it up. Are all those fundamentally bad ideas? No. Okay, maybe the last one. Most casual consumers or classic Sonic fans believe Sonic shouldn't stray too far from what the series originally started as. And while I agree that the core fundamentals of Sonic games should always stay intact, I think Sonic should also be allowed to evolve and grow from its humble beginnings. You can tell ever since Sonic 3 that Sonic Team wanted to expand this character to be something that delivers on all fronts: gameplay, narrative, and characters. I think rather than these games being doomed from the start, the execution on said games is poor. One of the games that gets the most criticism for being a conceptually bad game is Shadow. What? Bingo making another Shadow video? No way. Okay, but for real, Shadow the Hedgehog is not a conceptually bad game. Here y'all come in the comments. But Bingo, Shadow, he has a gun and he swears. Alright, but the gun combat is actually good. And swearing, while misusing this game to seem mature, is fine in a game aimed at an older audience. Sonic can appeal to an older demographic. There is an audience for it. But much like Mega Man and Mega Man X, Sonic should remain a traditionally kid-friendly franchise, while Shadow can be aimed towards a slightly more mature, older audience. But as usual for Sonic Team, the execution of this idea was poor. Now let me explain why. Shadow the Hedgehog is a super slippery game. Now personally, this is something I can deal with having started playing Sonic games with Sonic Heroes, but I can easily see how this can be a deal breaker for many people. Slipping and sliding all over like a 9-year-old in the summer isn't the best feeling in the world and can cause deaths due to the lack of control. Another problem with the game is how tedious some missions can be, specifically the Kill All X missions. Most if not all of these missions require you to kill every single enemy in the stage. It doesn't help that there's no map, so unless you've memorized all the locations of the enemies, have fun searching all over the map for that one remaining enemy. Doesn't help that there's quite a few of these missions throughout the game. Shadow is very unique in the Sonic series as it introduces a morality system. This morality system throughout the game allows players to choose what side Shadow is on: hero, neutral, or dark. I think this is a pretty cool and interesting idea, but how it actually works is rather disappointing. Let's say you decided to do the hero mission and help Gun take out the Black Arms. Surely the gun soldiers will take notice of this heroic act and won't shoot me. Fuck you.
Stop!
Fuck you too. Yeah, the choices you make doesn't have a huge impact on the game. It's mainly used to direct you on a pathway of levels leading you to one of the many endings in Shadow the Hedgehog. It doesn't have much effect on the cutscenes or the characters. You can do a dark mission where you kill all the humans or the goddamn president, and Sonic will still be all buddy-buddy with you in the next stage. The choices you make don't matter in a game advertised to make you think they do. Also, because of this flawed morality system that just changes what level you go to next, a lot of the cutscenes are designed without any regard to the path you're taking, and none of them really connect to each other. So yeah, the story is just a jumbled, incomprehensible mess. One thing I will give the story though, is that Shadow's characterization is spot on. Nigga, what? Now hold on, let me explain. For one, are you even black? Can you even say nigga? And two, I meant in Japanese. In English, a lot of the dialogue is changed to sound more cool and mature. but in reality, it really only makes the game more childish and ruins the perception of Shadow. Remember that whole taking candy from a baby line? Well, this is the same scene in Japanese.
つくづく愚かな奴らだ。この僕の前にカオスエメラルドをさらけ出すとはな。
Miles better, right? This is just one example of the many changes in the English version of Shadow the Hedgehog. This is probably the worst localization of a Sonic game by far. One of Shadow's biggest issues is its repetition. Just like a lot of Sonic games of the time, Shadow has a last story. In other Sonic games, you had to play through all the other stories to get to the last story. How do you do this in Shadow? Why, complete the game 10 different times. Yeah, in order to get the final story, you have to get all 10 endings. A feat even a Shadow enjoyer such as I haven't achieved. That means going through with stop lists at least 10 times. Can you see how a game designed like this can get repetitive? People barely want to play through the game as it is. Come on now, Sonic Team. The last thing I want to talk about is the false maturity the game is going for. If you didn't know, Shadow was initially going to be a teen-rated game. So you have a Sonic game that wants to be more mature than before, but while also maintaining an E10 plus rating. Keep in mind that Sonic Lost fucking World is E10 plus. There ain't much they're gonna get away with without it going up to teen. So Shadow is a game that doesn't fully commit to the darker tone being advertised. It adds some guns and says damn every couple of seconds to remind you that this game is hardcore. It's not. Shadow is such a tame ass game, to even call it edgy is laughable. It's too scared to even touch the edge with a 2-foot stick. Look at this.
Annihilation for this planet is near. It is time to embrace the dawn of your demise and despair.
I know what you're thinking. Bingo. I don't know, man. That was pretty dark. Yeah, that would be pretty dark if the whole city wasn't already evacuated. If you're going to make a darker Sonic game, here's a tip. Make a darker Sonic game. Don't be wishy-washy about it. Go all in with it. You might as well, or don't do it at all. Otherwise, the game comes off as childish and try-hard. It's like a kid who wants to scream fuck at the top of his lungs, but says frick because he doesn't want his parents to hear. Next time, just say fuck Sonic Team and make Shadow teen-rated. But I think I've rambled on long enough about Shadow the Hedgehog. I think Sega should give the little guy another chance. He didn't get to show us his true potential. Even if most Sonic fans would be against it, I think there is a possible audience for a teen-rated Shadow game that they weren't able to tap into with the first game. As long as the game itself is good, it will sell. Hell, even if it's not, it probably will. It's Shadow the goddamn Hedgehog. But thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe because it helps little guys like me grow. Anyways, this has been Bingo. Spread the Shadow agenda, and I'll see you on the highway. Peace, and have a good one.